back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So today let's talk about 3 reasons, in my opinion, that you may feel that God has forgotten about you. So first off, disclaimer, if you believe in God, in Jesus, or a higher being, then you can listen. But if not, I'm not here to pressure you or to change your belief and to believe in what I believe. But for those of us who are on the same page, we believe in God and we believe in Jesus, we believe in, whatever. But more than anything, I think a lot of us can agree on at least there's a God. So for us to believe in God, I'm sure we have all fallen into this bowl where we've had times where you just feel like no matter what, you can be doing everything that you're supposed to do. You're fasting or you're praying and you're believing and you're having faith and you're being a good person. And it just seems like everybody else around you is getting the things that you would love to have, but it's not happening for you. So I just came up with these 3 things that I think may be the main culprit for why we may feel this way, and really start to believe it, for ourselves. So, number 1, maybe it's something you've been praying about. Maybe it's something that you really, really want, or you feel like you really need, or you really, really do need it. Money, a cure. Maybe you're going through a health issue and you're waiting on God and you believe in God that you're going to be cured. Things are going to turn around in your favor and you're going to be blessed out of that situation. A lot of times when you're waiting for it, it does not happen in a time that you want it to happen. And that is discouraging. For a believer, that's very discouraging, because in church, or even if you don't even go to church, but just reading the Bible or just hearing about, God and things like that, and learning about God, you hear all these prophecies and you hear all these people giving their testimonies, and you hear people always saying like, oh, you just wait on God, it's going to happen for you too. And it's like, it's encouraging in that moment. But when you've been waiting, it's been years, and you're, again, like I just mentioned, you're seeing everybody else get that blessing, and you're like, I know that I done right. And this person may have been a backstabber, a liar, a cheater, we're not supposed to judge, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You look at the other person like, how? I've sacrificed so much. I've believed and I've kept my faith in God through all kinds of things. And I'm still sitting here with this ailment. I'm still sitting here single. I'm still sitting here friendless. I'm still sitting here jobless. The list goes on, and you're wondering, like, I prayed about this 2-3 years ago and it's still not happening for me. When we get into that mind frame and we start to focus on, what we feel like we need and what we deserve in this time, that's when we start to feel like God has forgot about me. It's never going to happen now. I just feel like maybe it's just not for me, or he just said no and that's the answer, because it has not happened yet. But just remember that everything happens in God's perfect timing. When you connect with God and when you have real belief in your faith in God, nothing's going to come the way and at the time that you expect for it to. Because we don't know what's best for our lives. We don't know what's best for ourselves. We change every day. Today you might like purple, tomorrow you like blue. So we just change, and we're constantly evolving. See, we see our right now. We want things to happen in the time and the season that we're in right now, because that's all we see. But God sees our future. He's working on that. He's working on setting you up to get to that goal in the next 5-10 years, or however long he has for you, to be going through your single season, or working at jobs you don't like, or whatever. He's trying to progress you to that next level, but it's in his timing. It may be a couple months. It may be a couple years. You just don't know. But, you just have to kind of keep on keeping the faith. That's the only way you can continue to push through it. But I understand you completely, because I've been there too. I am there sometimes. And it is difficult when you feel like you've been waiting for a really long time and you've been trying your best, but God is still, it seems like he's not answering you. It seems like he's punishing you, but he's not. It's all in love. And if you just be patient and hang in there and just wait and just believe and just, talk to him and just, no matter what, don't get discouraged or don't give up. Even if you do get discouraged, then it'll always turn out for you. You'll see why you had to wait so long. And the blessing is so much greater than what your mind can even imagine. So just hang in there. Number 2, you're trying to take control of your own life. You're wanting God to follow you and bless you along the path that you're trying to create for yourself, instead of it being the opposite way, instead of you following God and following the calling that he has on your life, so that he can bless you along the way with the people and the things that you deserve and the things that you need to live the best life that he has for you, an abundant life. A lot of times when we are in a waiting season, or when we feel like God has just forgotten about us, we start to say, all right, now God, you get in the back seat now. It's time for me to drive, and you're going to bless me along the way. Like, that's what we think. We get into situations we don't need to be in. We get into relationships we don't need to be in. We connect ourselves to people and things that we don't need to be connected to. And then we like, God, come on, bless it. You know what I'm saying? Like, put your blessings on this. My heart is hurting right now. Can you fix this? Can you bless this? Can you help me? I waited 6 years. I finally got somebody, and you just gonna let this person hurt me? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, guys looking at you like, I never ordained for you to be with that person, so I'm not gonna bless your mess. So you told me to get in the back seat. I'm sitting back here. You got the way. You must, obviously, you know what's best for your life. So go ahead. I'm gonna let you take the steering wheel, because God's not gonna force you to let him be in control over your life. He's not. He's going to allow you to do what you want to do. He'll be there to pick you back up if you fall. But he's not going to do it unless you ask him to, and unless you're serious about allowing him to take control again. So I feel like when we get into those times when we feel like God isn't listening to us, it's because we are trying to take control. And it's like, God's forgot about me. But it's not that he forgot about you. It's just that you're trying to do things your own way. And it may not be aligned with what he has for you. 99.5 out of 100% of the time is going to be that what you're trying so hard to strive for is not the way that God wanted things to be in your life, or it's not what he wanted for you. It's not God's best for you. And so you're striving to get there, and you do all the work, and it seems really, really hard. That's because it wasn't meant for you. It wasn't what God wanted for you. He just allowed it because you got free will. And then number 3, this is the most obvious. We all suffer from this, I truly believe. Even if things are going well for you, even if you already had the things that you prayed about, I believe we all suffer from this. And that's comparing ourselves to others. That's why you be like, oh, well, I got everything I want, but I still want more. It's because you've seen somebody else who has more, and you're like, oh, my life can be like that. Oh, I can dress like that. Oh, I want a job that pays me that much money. Knowing good as well you got everything that you prayed for. Before you didn't have a job. Now you're in a job that's paying you good money. You have a home. You got shelter. You got everything that you prayed about. But now you see somebody else on social media, not just out of 10, or someone else on the job. You see them in a different position, and you're like, oh, I want to do that now because they make more money. I want to be able to take trips like that. I want to be able to do this. Not even knowing half the time those people be fronting. Credit cards are a real thing. And a lot of people got a lot of credit debt because they're living beyond their means, and they're putting stuff on credit cards and stuff to fund stuff, and to feel like, okay, I'm living my life. And so when you seeing that, and you're not grateful for what you have already, and you're comparing, and you're constantly looking, oh, this person, their skin is prettier than mine, their hair is prettier than mine, they're tall and I like that, or they're short and petite and I like that. I wish my body was like that. I wish my job would pay me like that. I wish my husband or my wife was like that person's husband or their wife. Like, we're always doing that. And then when we pray about it, or when we ask God, like, why can't, ask God, like, God, can you please just bless this in my life as well, or bless my wife to be more like this person's wife, or bless my husband to be more like this person's husband, and it doesn't come about, it's because you are praying for something that is just, it's not meant for you, and you're being ungrateful. Like, God gave you everything that you asked for. You were happy until you seen somebody else with it. Or if you're single and you're seeing everybody else in relationships and you're like comparing yourself, like, oh, God must have forgot about me because everybody else is in a relationship and I'm not. I'm not knowing that, yeah, they could be in a relationship, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're happy. And they could be envious of your single life. And even if they are happy, be happy for them because your time is coming. It's just not happening right now. And you may feel like you have everything worked out. You're like, I've done everything. I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking care of my health. I'm taking care of, my responsibility. I have a great credit score. I have money in the bank. I'm good. I'm ready. But the person that God has for you may not be ready. And you want what God has for you. And because at first I was like, that sucks. Like, why do I gotta wait for that person? I don't even know who the person is. But I appreciate that. And as I grow and I think about it and I'm in the dating world, I'm like, you know what, God, take the time that you need to prune that person. So then I know when they come to me, they're ready. They're not playing games. They're not confused. They're not bringing me family drama. They're not bringing me heartache and pain. They're not bringing me past relationship pain. They're not bringing me their drama. And when I've done all this work on myself to be at peace, I want them to add to me, not for me to drain me to try to be a counselor and a therapist to them. So we have to get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. God did not forget about you. Don't you know that He loves everything about you? Not to get biblical or religious or anything like that about it, or get onto a different topic that make you feel like I'm trying to be that way. I'm just gonna say God loved you so much that He gave His only begotten Son for you. How many of you would give your child for a world that doesn't even care for you or your child? How many of you would do that? If you was to be given the opportunity to give your child, your only child, for this world as it is today, would you do it? Now that's a deep love. So what makes you think that if He's saying that you are my sons, you are my daughters, what makes you think that He's just going to say, oh, well, you don't get nothing. Like, I'm going to go over here and bless everybody else, but not you though, because, I just don't want to bless you. Like, I don't feel like you're deserving of anything. So, I know they may have done a little bit worse things than you have, but I don't feel like you need my blessings right now. Like, I'm just going to just forget about you right now and I'm going to work on these people over here. No, that's not how He is. But everybody has their own time and their own season for everything. And you want what God has for you. You want the best. So be patient and don't compare yourself. Because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what those people had to go through to have the relationships that they're in. You don't even know if their marriages or their relationships were even ordained by God. You don't even know. You don't know. But if you just let me know what you think. As usual, just be polite and courteous in the comment box. And let me know what you think that people may start to feel like God has forgotten about them. And if you've experienced it, what were your thoughts and how did you get through it if you got through it, and let's keep the conversation going. Let's be uplifting and encouraging to other people because somebody needs to hear what you have to say. But we'll keep the conversation going and we will talk next time. Bye.